Okay, so now that we've gotten some information on what a biome is and what particular types of biomes look like, now let's look at what is going to control where biomes are located. So as far as where biomes are located, there's two main things that are going to control how those are distributed throughout Earth. So biomes are mostly determined by temperature, so how hot or how cold something is or a region is, and precipitation, or the amount of rainfall a region gets. Now, because of this, you're going to find biomes at different latitudes because latitudes are going to affect temperature and precipitation. And you're also going to get different biomes at different elevations because how high above sea level you are will also affect the temperature and the precipitation of that particular area. So I'm going to take you through some examples of each of those. So first off, latitude. Looking at our map right here of the Earth, you'll see that we've got our different latitudes. So the equator being the center of the planet. As we go further north, we will get to higher and higher latitudes. As we go further south, we'll get to lower and lower latitudes. Now, the closer you are to the equator, the hotter it's going to be because of the way the planet is oriented in space, and the farther away from the equator, the colder it's going to be. So as you look at the map, you're going to see lots and lots of different types of biomes in the different latitudes. So you'll get your colder biomes up here and your warmer biomes down towards the equator. Now, elevation can also affect temperature and it can also affect precipitation. So what I mean by elevation is how high or high above sea level something is. So as we look at this mountainscape right here, the lower elevations are going to have different plants and animals located there because of the temperature and because of the rainfall or the precipitation. As you move farther up or get higher in elevation or increase your elevation, you're going to change the habitat because different things are going to be able to live with different amounts of water or different temperatures. So a real life example of this is a picture of Grand Teton National Park. You can see at the lower elevations next to the river here, you've got a forest. As we move up to the higher step or the higher elevations, you're going to get more of a grassland or a high prairie into some more boreal forest type biomes. And then you've got your barren rocks or high alpine habitat or biome that you would have up at the high elevation. So you can see here with the mountain range, very different biomes as we go up and down the elevation scale. So why do we care about biomes? Why should you care? First off, biological productivity and ecosystem resilience varies greatly from one biome to another. So depending on where people live, certain things that they can get from that ecosystem are going to be different, and the fragileness of that ecosystem are also going to be different. So our use of natural resources, so everything that you use depends on the biome's productivity, and our ability to restore ecosystems or habitats and nature's ability to restore itself has to do with what lives in that particular ecosystem. Now, all of these factors are going to influence your or my access to resources and our right to a clean environment. And we're going to talk about all these things later when we talk about the 4 factors that are going to affect biodiversity. So this is really why you should care, because lots of the things that you use every day are dependent on how well or how productive each of these biomes are and how humans use them. Okay, and so it's kind of like a different feedback cycle. One thing is going to affect the other, kind of like a food web if you were in 8th grade this year and learned about food webs. Okay, so let's recap really quick. First off, a biome is a large region of Earth that has a certain climate and a certain types of things that are living there. Next, biomes are distributed based on differences in temperature and precipitation. Next, both temperature and precipitation are affected by latitude and elevation. And then finally, human access to resources depends on our understanding of biomes. So all of these things we're going to hopefully take and learn about a little bit more in the coming days. So if you're done with this video, it is now okay to move on to task number 3, where you're going to be doing a little bit of a research project on a biome of your choice.